Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be my review of Prey. So this film, for me, to begin with, I wasn't that eager to go out and see this film. The trailers didn't really do anything for me at all. I don't think the trailers were any good. To be honest, it didn't look like it was going to be that good from the trailers. And since the previous Predator films, I don't know, they just haven't been that great, have they? Since the original, none of the Predator films have really been that good. To be honest, I don't really remember Predator 2. I've seen it a couple of times, but when I was younger. I haven't rewatched it since I've been older, so my memory is like terrible of Predator 2. So I can't really say what I think of Predator 2. I did really enjoy Alien vs Predator. I remember really enjoying that. And I don't really remember why anymore. I think it's just because I was young and I just was loving to see the alien, a xenomorph, fight against the Predator. And there was some really, really cool scenes in Alien vs. Predator. I did really, really like that. The Predator, the last film, I thought was terrible. And then Predators, before that with Adrian Brody, I thought was alright. But none of them were really that good. So for me, going into this film, I was like, I reckon this is probably going to be shit. The trailers were pretty shit. And yeah, I just wasn't sold on it. But I did have a couple of my friends message me and let me know that they think that this film was really, really good and that I need to see it. And it's potentially one of the best or the best Predator film. And I was like, no way. It can't be. It can't be better than the original. There's no way it can be. So I've got to say, after watching this movie, I definitely agree with everyone who was saying this is probably the best Predator since the original. I don't think it's as good. I mean, it's difficult to even compare it to the original. The original is such a classic, and because of the cast and the time that it was made in, it was like so much ahead of its time. The Predator, the actual character of how just impactful that was to movies back then, I don't think you can compare this to that, but it's definitely, I think, the best one since that I remember anyway. Again, I'd have to go and watch the second Predator film, Predator 2, to be able to compare it, but I don't remember that enough to be able to compare it. So, but for me, it's definitely the best Predator film since the original that I remember. I loved how it focused on the Comanche tribe and that we followed the lead girl, Naru. I thought that the actress who plays her played it really, really well. I mean, I haven't seen her in anything before, I don't think. So, you know, she did a good enough job. She wasn't amazing. She didn't blow me away. But then again, her character wasn't really that, you know, it didn't have that many levels to her character. It was just, she wants to hunt. She's a hunter. She's hard as nails. And that's pretty much it. I thought a lot of the supporting cast were okay. They weren't that good. Some of the Comanche males, like I didn't think they were that good, but they were okay. I didn't mind it, but I just liked the focus on it being on the Comanche tribe. It's different. We haven't seen that yet, and I think this is what the Predator franchise needed. It was to just focus on something completely different to anything that we've seen before, and it definitely works. Besides the Predator, which I'll get into in a moment, there were so many things in this film that I really enjoyed that I didn't expect. Like, a lot of this film focuses on other animals attacking Naru or the tribe and them having to defeat these animals or get away or whatever, and there's some really, really cool moments. The CGI is great. There's a lion that I didn't expect to be there. I thought it was going to be the Predator when that shows up. There is a bear. There's a really sick scene with a bear. I really, really did enjoy that. I thought it was so good, especially when the bear ends up having to fight the Predator. That's a sick scene because you genuinely don't get to see the Predator at all. And the film does this quite a lot with a lot of the scenes. You get to see an action scene between either an animal or one of the humans fighting against the Predator, and the Predator you don't even see because he's cloaked. He's in his invisible cloak, and you get to see little parts of his shield sort of like being revealed if he gets hit, but that's kind of it. And I like how the film does that because they'll show you a full scene of someone fighting the Predator or something, and you don't see the Predator, so you just see like this character or this animal getting thrown around. And it's just a really, really cool way that they've done that. I like that decision to just not reveal the Predator so much. Some really, really cool scenes that were just nothing to do with the Predator, and it was just about the tribe where they have to fight these animals to survive or whatever. And it's just a really, really cool thing to have in this film and not just always focus on the Predator. But now we'll get into the Predator. The Predator, for me, was probably the best version of the Predator, I think, ever. This was such a cool Predator. He was badass. He was so nails. He was so hard. I just loved how he fights. He just there's some of the things that the Predator does in this I haven't seen before in previous Predator films, and I was really enjoying any time that we got to see the Predator on screen. He was so good. He was just such a hard bastard, and I just really liked how the Predator was written for this film. He was just so hard, and the fight scenes were so cool. Some of the fight scenes between the Predator and the humans, even the animals, actually everything to do with someone or something fighting the Predator was done so well. I really, really did like it. Some of the action scenes between the humans and the Predator was so good because the Comanche tribe are trained to be able to fight and to be able to defend themselves. So some of the fight scenes between the Predator and the Comanche tribe is so cool, how the Comanche warriors were sort of avoiding or dodging the Predator's attacks, and then they would come back at it and fight the Predator and sometimes actually attack him and wound him. It was done really, really well, and I really, really did like it. There was some amazing kills. Some of the kills that the Predator does are really, really good, but there was some issues with some of this because I feel like a lot of the times, now this is one of the only complaints I have about the film, and it's not even that much of a complaint, but it was just something that I thought whilst watching it. I just thought that sometimes they cut away from some of the deaths too soon, and you wouldn't get to see the death so well. Like, you wouldn't get to see what happened. It would just be happening in the background, and it did that quite a few times, but then other times you would see exactly what the Predator's doing to the person, and that confused me a little bit because I think this is R-rated. I think it is R-rated, and there's some proper gory moments, there's some really, like, brutal kills, but then a lot of the other kills you don't get to see, and it's almost like the editing was a bit off. I don't know, that was just what my impression was why didn't I get to see that, but then again I got to see that. It was strange. For example, the very first time one of the Comanche warriors gets killed by the Predator, there's these 3 lasers that the Predator has, and it comes on the Comanche's chest, and it moves around, and the warriors don't have a clue what this is. They're looking around, they don't know what it is. The Comanche warrior puts his hand up, and the lasers like go in his hand, on his chest, and I think one in his head, and you know what's going to happen. And this is the first time you get to see the Predator come against the humans, and it cuts away. And you can kind of see something in the background happen, but you don't see it. And I thought that was a miss, because for the very first kill, I would have thought you would at least show it to see like how scary this other presence is and what they are capable of. And obviously the Comanche tribe, they have no technology, so this is the first time they've ever come across this type of thing, these lasers and whatever weapon it is that the Predator uses to shoot these like darts out. That's completely alien technology to these guys, and it's the first time they've seen it. I would have liked to have seen what that weapon has done to kill this warrior, and it didn't show you it, and I don't know, it was just a little bit strange to me, and that just happened a couple of times, but it wasn't too much to the point where I was like, okay, they've ruined the film. It was just happening to a point that I was like, come on, just show it, will you? But that's because I just like to see gore in these situations, but yeah, there was that. That's my only other complaint. And one more was that I just thought that some of the acting from some of the Comanche tribe, like the males, wasn't really that good. But it wasn't really that bad. So really, I don't have anything negative to say about it. I genuinely thought that this was a proper solid film. I thought the lead actress was good. I thought the main Predator was absolutely, well, the main Predator. I thought that the only Predator who's in the film was really, really good. Like, amazing. Sick. Probably one of my favorite Predators ever that I've seen. Even his design, he's got a new look, a new design. I thought that was really, really good. I thought he looked amazing. I liked his new face. And obviously this is the origin of the Predator coming to Earth. This is the very first time the Predator has ever come to Earth. It's 300 years before the first Predator film. So like, yeah, they might look a little bit different. He's even got like a bone sort of mask helmet thing, which is really, really cool design. But I also am a little bit confused how the Predator sees, because there's no eye holes in it. But either way, it's a really sick design. I really, really like the creative look of the Predator. At one point, we do get introduced to a load of new characters who are these French fur trappers. That's the only name I know for them in this. I don't know whether they're called anything else. But anyway, we get introduced to this whole other load of people, and I really did like that. Again, I didn't expect that other element to the film. I thought it was just going to be pretty much the girl and a few other Comanche tribes, and then the Predator. But we don't. We get loads of other stuff. The fur trappers come into the film at one point, and then this sets up for like a load of more people to be killed or for more battles to happen, and that's exactly what happens. And there's some really, really cool moments. There's a really, really sick scene where the fur trappers have kind of got the Predator into like a trap, and they're trying to kill him. And the Predator is just doing all these sick moves. They're shooting bullets at him. The Predator doesn't even seem phased by this shit. He's just holding up this sick shield, and he's just badass. He's completely badass. And yeah, there's just so many really, really good action scenes and moments in this film. I actually love it. I think it's great. This is exactly what the Predator franchise needed. I really hope that future Predator films kind of stick to this idea. I'd be happy if they just kept going to different times in the world. Completely new stories, nothing linked to the next one. I mean, you can link them if you want to. Like, in this film, I got told that there's a moment where Naru, the main girl, gets given a gun from one of the trappers, and that is linked to Predator 2. I don't remember, because I don't remember Predator 2, but, like, it's a nice little throwback to Predator 2. That's all cool. But, like, the film is a standalone film. It doesn't link into anything else, really, apart from, obviously, the Predator. But I would be happy if the future Predator films just did that, just different times. Like, I don't know, go back to a pirate age, have pirates fight the Predator. Or, I don't know, you can do anything you want at any stage through life and just have the Predator there and just have this sort of, like, this sort of hunting survival film against the Predator and a certain character or characters, and it works perfect. You don't need to start doing anything more, because this has shown that this is really what people want from a Predator film, and yeah, I just thought it was really, really good. So for me, this film was a solid film. It was definitely one of the best, if not the best, Predator film since the original. I thought that they completely brought a whole new thing to the Predator franchise, which it needed big time. So I feel like it deserves so many points for so many things. I just feel like it's a great film. It's a good film. It's solid. So for me, if I was to give this film a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So that's the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a like. That would be amazing. And if you're new here and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button if you want to stay updated with my content. And also, let me know down below, what did you think about the film? Did you enjoy Prey? Is it your favorite Predator film ever, or do you think it's shite? Please let me know down in the comments. I genuinely would love to know. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on wAFFwORLD.